Welcome to CP101, and this is another update on the Starfury. We got a lot of work done, a lot of filler work since the last update. We've got our LEDs in the engines. Well, we'll start with the bottom first. Here's the bottom part of the Starfury. We've got the engine nozzles are not glued on, they're just loose for now, but we have the LEDs installed. We have them hooked together in parallel, and then two feed wires going up to feed the bottom two. And we did at the top of the Starfury the same way. In fact, you can kind of see right here how we've got the two engines, upper engines, wired in parallel, and then we have two feed wires that will go down through the main body and out the bottom and through the stand. And when you apply power, well, just like the bottom ones for now, but when you put power to it, you get the engines flickering the nice blue. Now I also went with the collars, so the LEDs are pushed back a little bit. They're not sticking out through the nozzles. So we've got that done. So what we'll do is, as I said, we'll run the wires from the upper wing down through the body into the base. We'll tie all these together at the bottom of the base to where all four will come on at the same time. The reason why I haven't glued these nozzles on yet is because I don't know exactly where they are supposed to be. I believe they're supposed to be kind of sort of in this position here, the 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock position, I believe, but the instructions don't say so exactly how they're supposed to be positioned, because you have those, I'm not too sure what they are, but those pieces that go on the sides of the nozzles. And I think these pieces right here, and I think they get mounted to these larger fins here. So I'm not too sure whether they go in this position or whether they just go in some other position, whether they go like this or what have you. I don't know, but I didn't want to glue these on until I could figure out exactly where these go at. A couple things I want to go over real quick, and I mentioned this before, that with this kit you want to make sure that you follow the steps in the instructions. Don't do like I do and just kind of build your kit willy-nilly. I mean, normally I just look at the instructions and kind of use them as a guide, and I just do my own thing, but with this kit you don't want to do that. What I did was I put the upper wing completely together, and then I installed it onto the fuselage, and then that's when I had a hell of a time with installing the guns and installing the cockpit. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put the inserts in, these ribs, these inserts, and then you're supposed to install the guns onto the wing. Then you install the cockpit, and then you put this onto the fuselage, the whole unit. And then you go back and install the bottom part of the wing onto the upper part. As I said, I didn't do that. So if you do it my way, you're going to have a hell of a time getting the cockpit in, and a hell of a time getting those guns in there. I mean, it can be done, but you're going to do a little bit of horsing around trying to get those in there. And I was lucky to get this in, because this is a really tight fit to try to get it in there once the upper wing is completely on. So make sure you follow the sequential steps in the instructions, and you won't have the issues I did. But the guns, as you can see here, are installed, the upper guns. I drilled out the barrels a little bit. I want to open those up a little bit more realistic. I just used my circuit board drill bits and drilled me a pilot hole, and then I went back with my pin vise and drilled a larger hole I didn't want to go too big. I wanted to leave some of the barrel. So I think it looks good just like that. So those are installed. We've got the engine nozzles finally installed. They're glued on now. Again, the instructions are pretty vague on how these are positioned, because there's no register, no locating pin or slot or tab set up. There's nothing for you to make sure that these are located in the right spot. So what I did was I used the box art. If you recall, in the back of the box, it shows you all the different versions that you could build. And I used these two pictures right here to help me figure out where they're supposed to be positioned. And as you can see, the larger fins that these, I don't know what these are, but vanes or something, whatever they are, get mounted to. One goes, you have, if this was a clock, you'd probably be at the 2 o'clock for the larger one, and the 8 o'clock, almost 8 o'clock, a little after the 8 o'clock position on the much smaller one here. So this is what you have, and this is how they should go. So use the pictures on the back to help you determine where those nozzles, how they're orientated, to make sure that you can get these pieces on. So that's what we've done here. We've got them all situated, and we shouldn't have any issues putting those on. So, and then we got all of our wires ran. We got 6 now. That's going to be the total amount that we need to fire everything up. We have 4 for the engines and then 2 for the cockpit. So we've got that taken care of, and I'll put the battery on it. We'll do it right now, I guess. So you can kind of see how they look lit up. So we got our negative, got our positive. So we'll take a battery here. We'll put the positive up first. Not that it matters, but we'll do that one first. We'll take our negative. Hook that one up second. And then you can see we have all 4 lit and fired up. So that's the Starfury. So that's where we're at on the Starfury. We're on step number 6, where we install the front nozzles on the engines, and then the maneuvering thrusters here on the top and sides, that kind of spinning around and make it do all kinds of cool stuff. And what I'm doing now is I got a ton of filler underneath here, because you got a pretty bad seam underneath here, and that's 1 coat. So I can already see it's going to need a couple more coats of filler to cover that up. So it's going to be fun getting in there, but I'll figure something out. I'll have to use my small skinny stick, I guess, to try to get in there and get it somewhat sanded down. The seam here on the wing parts, on the inner wings, I'm just going to leave. I don't know if they're supposed to be smooth or what, but I'm going to assume that it'd be a natural seam, and I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to leave it alone. So I'm just going to leave that as is and just take care of the seams on the inner parts of the wings. Take care of them and underneath here. And I don't have to worry about this too much if I don't get it perfect, because you really don't see it anyway. Even if you look from back, unless you're getting up and looking up underneath there, you're not going to notice it anyway. So, but I didn't want to leave it. I did, just want to leave that real bad seam there. I wanted it somewhat covered up. So, but anyway, that's where we're at on the Starfury. We're up to step number 6. So, so far so good. All right, guys, that's it. Till the next update. Take care. We'll see you then.